Um, Good morning, everybody. My guest today is an old friend of mine called Laura Le Masurier. Laura is now the current CEO of Crucial Recruitment, a recruitment business that focuses on communication skills and tech disruptors, of which we will hear more about later. Laura started her life as a client of ABL. Then she became a candidate. We placed her in a job at Goldman Sachs. And then we brought her on board as a consultant. So Laura, it's lovely to see you. Thank you very much for joining me. And how are you doing?
Hi James, so nice to see you. I'm really well, thank you. Really enjoyed lockdown life, and lots changed since you and I last saw one another.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you've just had your second child, I believe.
Yes, baby Arthur. He was born in lockdown.
Congratulations.
Ago. Thank you. Yes, modelling through and getting used to having two children and homeschooling while trying to love and nurture the other.
Of course. So really balancing sort of work and life and priorities, etc.
Yes, spinning lots of plates, as it were.
Yeah, good for you. And how was giving birth in lockdown? How did that work out?
It was quite crazy actually, because Ned, my first, he was premature and I had him in hospital. So I was always someone that thought I'd have to go to hospital to have my child, and then lockdown, it would have meant that I would be birthing on my own. So I went at 37 weeks to actually have a home birth, and it was wonderful. It was 4 hours, and it was it was I don't want to say a piece of cake because it was very painful, but yes, it was as easy as a birth can be, I would say.
Good for you. Good for you. So the two boys, are they getting on all right?
Yeah, and Ned's a very proud big brother. I'm lucky in that he's 6 years old, so I haven't got the jealousy piece that a lot of mums go through. Very helpful. Even when it comes to changing nappies, he's quite good. It's good. I can't complain. I feel like I've been easy this time.
Fantastic. So how is business? So you're on maternity leave, I assume, still?
Yes, I'm on maternity leave, but still very much involved with the team and with my clients. My clients are essentially friends now.
Yes.
We've been working together for 10 years or so.
Yeah, fantastic. So tell me about the business. Tell me about Crucial Recruitment. We touched on it in the introduction there, but give me a bit more detail.
Sure. So we've been around for almost 3 years now, and it was born out of, I guess, frustration with a few like-minded individuals where we wanted to offer more than a plain recruitment service. So what we built out was an academy where we can train people, but we also offer several services around data analytics for technology disruptors, because what you tend to find in that market, so for example, the space and the satellite market, is that the skill sets evolve much more quickly than the engineers can keep up with per se. So in some cases it would be for us to be a bit creative. Can we take somebody, for example, from the Formula One space, and can we upskill them to understand rocket science, and then put them into the space sector? So around that, and just change way that people think, and giving them the data and the analytics to make informed decisions for their buyers.
Superb. And tell me a bit more about the training academy. I'm interested to hear about that. How does that work?
So that originally was born out of the idea of giving back to veterans. So the guys that set that up are ex-Marines, and they train ex-military personnel for free across, for example, cybersecurity qualifications, including CREST. And there's about 5 or 6 courses that they can do. Once they're trained, we then put them out into industry. And we do the same again with, for example, satellite or telecommunications. You could take somebody that's been in the Royal Signals, and we can very quickly and easily train them on VSAT services. That's a satellite service, and we can put them into commercial roles from there.
Fantastic. That's a wonderful thing, because over the years I've dealt with a lot of ex-military people who find it difficult going back into civilian life, only having led a life where everything is mapped out for them. So that's wonderful to hear that. And tell me about your your recruitment history then? Because obviously we touched on the fact that you originally were a client of ABL's. Just tell us about how you then became a consultant of ours and how you entered the recruitment space.
Sure, I love this story. So I started off, I was at L'Oreal and I worked in the marketing department for L'Oreal Paris, and quite often we would do these great big campaigns, and we would need folks that spoke different languages or had different skill sets, anything from sort of secretarial right the way up to analytics. So I would always call you guys there at ABL, and you would very quickly provide me with a temp, a member of staff that would come on board and help us with these media campaigns, or might be something as simple as a mail out. So we built quite a good relationship, because every quarter or every product launch, we had a huge need to upskill, to bring on more staff on a temporary basis.
That's
so
right.
Met. And then my role at L'Oreal after 4.5 years was made redundant. And
Right.
I don't know if ever you've been through redundancy, but really, it's a really hard time. It really knocks your confidence.
Of course.
You know, it really hit me hard. I'd been employed all the way through. All through my studies, I was employed. So suddenly to be in a situation where I had a flat and no income was scary. And
I can imagine.
No matter what I did take it personally, and I did feel that it was something that I had done and that maybe I wasn't good enough. And you folks there at ABL were just wonderful. You know, you go through that process of trying to register with recruitment agencies, and a lot of recruitment agencies do have a bad name for very good reason. They don't get back to you. They don't help you. They don't nurture you. They don't give you the tools that you need. So I found it really refreshing with ABL, because rather than just see me as a piece of paper, you helped to really build my confidence, to understand me as a person and my skill set and where that could be applied. And what really shows is because you guys placed me at Goldman Sachs, so I've gone from a very creative role at L'Oreal into an investment bank. For their investment banking division, which is highly corporate and completely different. But you saw that in me. You saw that I worked with urgency, with pace. You saw all of the qualities that I had, and you were quite creative in where I could apply them. And you very much helped me with my application at Goldman Sachs. And I'm so proud I worked there. It was a really incredible time. As a temp, and I stayed there for a long time, and then I had a brief spell where I went off travelling for a year, and once straight back to Goldman Sachs. So it was such a boost for me working with you.
I can imagine. And that was the time when Goldman were really flying high and expanding massively in Europe, weren't they, in the London office? And then what then sparked your interest in recruitment?
Again, the relationship had always been there with ABL. I spoke to yourself and Alex, another member of staff at the time. We used to speak weekly, and he was my touch point. And you know, over time you become friends, which is great. And he was talking to me ever such a lot about the types of clients that you work with. I'm very sociable. I'm quite nosy. I like to know what's going on. So
that helps in recruitment.
Yeah, definitely. I was always really intrigued to hear more about what you guys were doing. And the more that you and Alex told me, the more that I decided actually that's something that really appeals. So I was lucky enough to be invited for an informal chat with you guys. I met with yourself and with Nicole, and we had a wonderful conversation, just again, learning for me and listening and hearing about what you guys did. And I made the decision there and then that I wanted to come across and to become a consultant.